Listen, before humans built cities, farms, or metal tools, one discovery quietly changed the body itself. It began with a smell drifting through smoke. Meat, roots, and seeds transformed by heat. A cautious hand reached toward food that looked familiar, but no longer behaved the same. It was softer, warmer, easier to tear. And after swallowing it, the body gained more while working less. That sounds ordinary now. In the ancient world, it was a biological revolution, because raw food was never free energy. Every tough bite demanded teeth, time, muscle, and a powerful gut. Every contaminated bite carried invisible risks. Every cold season turned chewing into a race against hunger. So here is the real question. Why did ancient humans begin cooking at all? Was it taste, accident, survival, or something even deeper? The honest answer is that no single night left us a written recipe. The origin of cooking is debated because fire rarely preserves a clean signature for hundreds of thousands of years. But the clues are scattered across bones, teeth, hearths, fish remains, genes, and living primates. Together, they tell a stronger story than any one fossil can. Cooking may have begun as an accident beside natural fire, but it stayed because the benefits were too powerful to ignore. Heat turned food into a tool, and that tool helped turn clever apes into humans who could survive almost anywhere. Picture a small human band moving through open woodland hundreds of thousands of years ago. There are no farms, storage rooms, refrigerators, or guaranteed meals. Food arrives as roots under hard soil, seeds inside shells, sinewy flesh, marrow, insects, and seasonal fruit. Some days are generous, many are not. A meal can take hours to find, and even longer to chew. Modern humans can finish a soft dinner quickly. Great apes may spend much of the day processing raw food. Ancient humans faced the same basic energy equation. Calories gained minus calories spent. Fail that equation for long enough, and strength disappears. Weak hunters return with less food. Weak parents struggle to carry children. Weak immune systems lose battles that healthy bodies might survive. And in a cold season, weakness can become death without one dramatic moment. The group needs food that is not only edible, but efficient. Stone tools already help by cutting meat and crushing plants. Pounding, slicing, and grinding reduce chewing before fire enters the story. Then heat adds another layer of processing. It softens fibers, breaks down tissues, and changes starch. It can increase the energy the body actually obtains from a meal. It can also make some food safer and easier to digest. That creates the first survival problem. How do you get more energy from the same landscape? Problem 1. Raw food can demand too much mechanical work. Imagine Arko returning with tough strips of meat from a scavenged carcass. The meat contains energy, but extracting it is slow. He pulls, tears, chews, rests, and chews again. His jaw muscles work like tools that never get put down. Mira digs starchy underground roots, but raw fibers resist every bite. The child grows tired before the stomach is full. Failure means the group technically has food, but cannot process enough of it fast enough. Time spent chewing is time not spent carrying, guarding, making tools, or searching for tomorrow's meal. Then a strip of meat falls near hot stones beside the fire. Its surface changes, fat runs, fibers loosen. Arko tests it carefully. The same food now tears with less force. Cooked starch also becomes easier for digestive enzymes to access. The fix is not magic, it is external digestion. Fire begins part of the breakdown before food enters the mouth. That can reduce chewing costs and digestive work. More usable energy reaches the body from each successful meal. Problem: failure. Fix: Cooking turns the environment into a larger pantry without adding a single new plant or animal. Problem 2. Food can carry enemies too small to see. Fresh meat does not stay fresh for long in warm air. Parasites, bacteria and decay can turn a successful hunt into sickness. A raw meal may taste normal and still carry danger. One sick adult means fewer hands gathering fuel. 2 sick hunters can leave the whole group hungry. A vomiting child can lose water faster than the group can replace it. Failure does not always look like a predator attack. Sometimes death begins quietly, inside the gut. Heat changes that risk. Cooking cannot rescue every spoiled food, and ancient people did not understand microbes, but they could observe outcomes. Food heated thoroughly often caused fewer immediate problems than the same food eaten raw. Smoke and drying could also slow spoilage and extend usefulness. The group learns through repeated survival, not scientific vocabulary. They remember which foods are safer after roasting. They teach children to wait near the fire instead of biting first. The fix is a cultural rule built from biological consequences. Heat becomes a shield against some invisible threats, and every safer meal protects not just one body, but the labour of the entire group. Problem 3. Plants often defend themselves. Roots can be tough. Seeds can be hard. Some compounds taste bitter because they are warnings. Not every toxic plant becomes safe with heat, and guessing wrong can be fatal. But cooking can reduce certain natural toxins and make many plant foods more digestible. That matters when fruit disappears and hunting fails. A group that depends on one easy food is fragile. A dry season removes berries. A storm drives animals away. A winter locks soft plants beneath frozen ground. Failure means standing in a landscape full of material the body cannot use efficiently. Then knowledge changes the menu. Mara learns which roots must be sliced, soaked, crushed or roasted. The elder remembers which seeds crack safely near heat. Children watch, imitate and inherit recipes before written language exists. Cooking becomes more than fire-touching food. It becomes a sequence: collect, prepare, heat, test, share. That sequence expands the number of reliable foods available across seasons. The fix is flexibility. A cooking species can survive on landscapes that would starve a raw food specialist, and flexibility becomes one of humanity's greatest survival advantages. Problem 4. Fire is useful only when it does not escape. A flame can cook dinner or erase the shelter. Smoke can repel insects and predators, but it can also choke a cave. Fuel must be collected before darkness. Embers must be protected from rain. Children must learn distance before curiosity becomes injury. Failure can mean burns, lost food, destroyed bedding, and a night without protection. The group cannot treat fire like a private possession. Someone gathers wood. Someone watches the wind. Someone turns the food. Someone keeps the child back. Someone carries embers when the band moves. Cooking, therefore, rewards cooperation. The meal becomes a shared project with roles, timing and trust. This may deepen social bonds because people repeatedly gather around the same controlled centre. Firelight also extends useful social time after sunset. Stories, teaching, planning and conflict repair happen inside the circle of light. The fix is social technology, rules that make dangerous energy predictable. Cooking changes not only food, but the shape of the group around it. Now comes the difficult part. When did cooking actually begin? The evidence does not give one clean date. Some researchers argue cooking became important with Homo erectus nearly 2 million years ago. They point to smaller teeth, reduced chewing anatomy, larger bodies, and the energetic value of cooked food. But biological change does not prove that every meal was cooked. Archaeologists ask for direct traces: burned material, repeated hearths, heated stones, or food altered by controlled fire. Possible fire use appears at African sites more than 1 million years old, but interpretation remains debated. At Wonderwerk Cave, microscopic ash and burned bone suggest fire inside the cave about 1 million years ago. At Geshe Benot Yaakov, evidence indicates fish were cooked around 780,000 years ago. That site preserves repeated hearth-related activity, not one accidental wildfire. Later sites show increasingly regular fire use across different regions, and new evidence from Barnum suggests deliberate fire-making by about 400,000 years ago. Making fire on demand is different from carrying or maintaining flame taken from nature. The technology probably developed in stages. First, humans may have approached burned landscapes after wildfires. Then, they may have preserved useful flames. Later, they learned to maintain hearths reliably. Eventually, some groups learned to ignite fire when needed. Cooking was probably not invented once like a modern device. It was refined across generations through accidents, observation, memory, and necessity. Now place all 4 problems inside one winter night. The band is trapped by sleet near a shallow rock shelter. The hunt has failed for 3 days. Myra carries bitter roots dug from frozen soil. Arko has only a small piece of sinewy meat scavenged before dark. The child is shivering and too tired to chew. Then the wind drives rain into the shelter. The fire collapses to a red glow. Without heat, the roots stay hard, the meat stays dangerous, and the night loses its protective border. Failure now has a clear shape: cold, hunger, weakness, and predators moving closer. The ancient dog growls toward the black entrance. 2 yellow eyes appear beyond the rain. Arko wants to chase the animal away, but leaving the embers could kill everyone. The elder shields the coals with a stone slab. Myra feeds dry fibres saved inside her clothing. Arko adds thin twigs before the larger wood. The flame returns slowly, then catches. The roots soften. The meat cooks. The predator retreats from the growing light. No single action saves the group. Cooperation does. By dawn, cooking is no longer a convenience. It is the difference between a weak band and a living one. Fast forward to your kitchen. The fire is hidden inside metal, electricity, gas, and software. But the ancient logic is still there. You soften food before chewing. You heat food to reduce risk. You transform ingredients that would be unpleasant or difficult to eat raw. You gather socially around prepared meals. The kitchen remains a place of teaching, memory, status, care, and conflict. Recipes are cultural inheritance measured in gestures and timing. A parent still shows a child when food is safe. A family still uses a meal to repair distance. A celebration still becomes real when people share cooked food. Even the smell of roasting can trigger attention before conscious thought. That response links hunger, memory, and social expectation. Modern humans can eat raw foods, but no known human society is built entirely without cooking. Our teeth, gut, schedule, and culture all reflect heavy dependence on food processing. Cooking gave humans more than calories. It gave us time that could be spent on tools, travel, children, alliances, and imagination. The hearth became an external stomach and a social magnet. The ancient kitchen never disappeared. It became civilization's quiet center. So why did ancient humans begin cooking? Not because one genius invented dinner in a single night. They cooked because heat made tough food easier to process, because it increased access to usable energy, because it reduced some risks from pathogens and parasites, because it expanded the range of plants and animals that could become reliable food, because fire protected the camp and created a center for cooperation, and because groups that learned these lessons could survive seasons that defeated others. The exact beginning remains uncertain, but by 780,000 years ago, humans were clearly cooking fish at a hearth-related site. By 400,000 years ago, evidence now suggests some humans could deliberately make fire. The deeper biological story may reach further back, but scientists still debate how far. That uncertainty does not weaken the story. It shows how ancient the transition was. Cooking was not merely a recipe. It was a new relationship with energy. It moved part of digestion outside the body. It turned danger into protection, scarcity into flexibility, and gathering into culture. Next video vote. Should we explore why humans started eating meat, how fire changed the brain, or why humans began sharing food? Leave your vote in the comments and tell me the oldest cooking memory in your family. Stay with my mind mesh for the secret history of being human, told one stick figure at a time. And the next time you watch food change over heat, remember, you are looking at one of humanity's oldest technologies still working.